I kind of landed in the Navy as a in 2008 with the housing market crash. I always people before that people would always be like, "Were you in the military?" Like I always had discipline, and my dad was in the Air Force, but I kind of crash landed into the military. And I find that a lot of people who are in the military, and especially those that stay in, they stay in for different reasons, or they learn to like really like it for different reasons than they had initially gone in. Like I went in to go to nursing school eventually, but while I was in, a lot of my motivations changed, especially with the Marine Corps. Like I really wanted to take care of those guys, and even when I was in nursing school, I went back into the uh, Navy in the reserves, and I was attached
Right.
to 3rd Battalion, 14th Marines in a reservist unit because I wanted to go back into the Navy Nurse Corps. That was my goal at the time. So clearly, whatever my motivations were for joining had morphed and expanded and changed. Just the luck of the draw, I got married, and that path wasn't in the cards for me. But I'm losing track here. So,
Well, on your point though, I
yeah.
know a guy, if you still want to maybe join the reserves as a nurse corps officer,
Oh yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah, I don't, we were going back into like, spousal support and stuff. My wife has a lot of responsibilities. She's in business, and I don't think me leaving for deployment is
Yeah.
would work in our family dynamic. And it's worth noting because there are a lot of military families that this kind of, if you don't have everything planned accordingly, it could really do a number
Oh
on you.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be
You
my
gotta you
my
gotta have
big fear.
all those ducks in a row. So,
I miss
but
it though.
hey,
I was very serious about going back in. And I don't think when you're in, at least for me, you can appreciate it. Like I was so, like I said, I got in later. When you knew me, I was like 31. So I kind of, as much as I felt purposeful and happy where I was, part of me felt like I was kind of a loser because I didn't have a career. I was in my 30s. I still had to get out of the Navy and go to college on the GI Bill. I
yeah.
really felt behind. And I think that's why I had a lot of pent up emotion about that. That was kind of clouding my mind as
Hmm.
well. But then when I was actually in nursing school and I stepped back away from everything, I was able to see things more clearly. But if you're trying to figure things out, like if you're having like a metaphysical crisis, being on a Marine deployment is probably not the best environment to try to gain clarity
Yeah.
over what
No.
to do in your life. And then
I
here's this
mean,
guy,
you
HM
could
three
at least
McCarthy
kind
that
of,
that says something to you one day, and you're like, "Hey, buddy, go screw yourself." Yeah,
but hey, you could at least, you do have moments of clarity on
yeah,
deployment. It's a lot, like, there's a lot of time by yourself
yeah.
just
No, there's a
to
lot of
think,
downtime.
just to
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah,
I pretty much mapped out my entire path on that deployment and
yeah,
somehow was able to execute it and be successful and had to jump over a lot of hurdles. I mean, it wasn't just like,
yeah.
oh, I'm going to go do these things and submit this
No,
package
people
and then
should
I'm
know
going to
like
put
that.
on a bar.
No, people should know that this is not something that's handed to you. You have to
No.
be the best of the best. You have to be that enlisted man or woman who is doing the collateral bit, is going to school, is uh, taking on a leadership role, is responsible for others, is square to the wazoo with their uniform is so important. And it might sound trivial to some people who are not in it. It's really important. It's presentation it's not a superficial thing. It says a lot about a person. And, fitness is really important. So across the board, like you have to be a real ace.